jump in here. I don't have camera mount that I need. And that's not in the shop yet, dang it. I'm just doing this on my phone, so I got it leaning up on my laptop. So, we'll see how this goes. If the phone needs charged, well then we'll have to end the stream. But 45%. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, I don't have anything in here to mount the GoPro if I have to. Oh, maybe I do, actually. I might. I don't think I have anything to mount the GoPro, so we'll have to do it on my phone. Which is nice because then it's vertical and get people in the live from shorts. So, not sure what's going on there. GoPro could probably use battery charged. Looks like we got 2 people in here. Oh, jumped down to 1. Hey Blake. Wowzers. 52%. I have no idea who the charger is. It's gotta be laying here in my collection somewhere. Oh, it's laying on the floor. Hey Blake. There, that time you got the full alphabet. You only got part of it in the other stream. And you spelled alphabet wrong. Wait a minute, it's not charging. Turn back on. GoPro is at 30%. And it's not charging. Charge. Close enough. If you want it to be. Got the GoPro charger in here. Correction. Supposed to have the GoPro charger in here. Gotta turn the laptop on, change chargers here because. Where's this cord at? Got 2 laptop charging cords here. Which one do I need? I think this one. Oh, don't even need the charger. It was just off. Now it's charging. It was the longest 400 rand today. New record. Sweet. If you don't want to run it much longer, you'll have to rebuild it. No, I'm kidding. Oh crap. Gotta go in there. My zipper broke here on my GoPro case. I was trying to close it and the zipper broke. It's not actually a GoPro brand case. So, Chinese knockoff, but close enough. That was Mike's first impression. Pretty good. That was my first time being on his live stream. Still trying to find something that he likes. Try again on the next stream. Better luck next time. Oh, he likes pizza. I don't think I was in for that part, or I missed it. If I wasn't in. Okay, so we found one thing that he likes. He's probably watching this and just not commenting or something. So how do you guys like the live streams of when I'm working out in the shop? Do you like those type live streams, or don't you like them? Also, my shoulder, or actually my arm right here, hurts from trying to start the snowmobile yesterday. So that's fine. Wow, your garage must be pretty bad then, Blake. We got probably about 5.5 to maybe 6 inches, probably 5.5 inches of snow. I never measured it, but a decent amount of snow. It's all pretty much all melted now, except up in the fields. But here on the side of the hill where the house is, pretty much this whole side of the hollow is bare. That side is got some snow on it yet. I couldn't think of a single reason why, Blake. That's how it was when I started the lowboy after I put the engine back in it on the live stream. I started it, all of a sudden I just heard things falling off of it. Because it shakes like you wouldn't believe. Especially when it's only trying to fire on 2 cylinders. 1 to 2 cylinders. But been running the lowboy a good bit here lately, and that drive shaft didn't break yet, so that's a plus. Fingers crossed that it don't, because if that breaks, then there's something else wrong, because it's got a whole solid bead of weld going around it and a bolt to break off. So if it breaks all that off, then there's something else wrong. Message retracted. What are you trying to do, troll me, Blake? Blake's trying to troll me. But yeah, I'm putting that thing to the test. But I kind of do want to get a drive shaft for it. I'm sure. Single cylinder. They do shake. But it's got a 3-cylinder Kubota in it. Runs smoother than I thought it was gonna. Runs a lot smoother than it did when it was running on 2 cylinders, cylinder 1 and 3. But once I got it running on 3 cylinders, it still shakes, but it's not near as bad. I did find that it was missing bolts. So it's vibrating enough to lose it's shaking enough to lose bolts yet. Oh, it is, Blake? Where's that having it? Onan? I think that has an Onan in it, don't it? Let's see if I'm right here. We could use the GoPro light here. Blind the crap out of me, but it'll work. Oh, wow. Okay, 532. Okay. We might have to swap that out and put a Onan in it, Blake. If you want reliability, just put an Onan in. I'm doing a smart thing and aiming this over that way, so don't blind me as much. Oh, that must be the... Oh, I don't want that mode. I think that's the low mode. It literally made no difference than the computer screen that's trying to... Okay, that's bright. That should make a difference. Actually, I don't think it does much of a difference anyhow. Definitely makes a difference. I don't even know how much charge it has in it. Yeah, wait till you lose spark. John Deere likes to hide fuses for the coil. I'm sure they do. So Blake, how long will it be until you're putting a diesel in it? That'd be awesome with a diesel. Like a Kubota diesel or a Mitsubishi or even a Yanmar. There's some John Deeres that come factory with a Yanmar, and so it wouldn't be a terrible idea to put a Yanmar in it. That was one of my options for the lowboy, but I just decided to go with the Kubota. Blake. But you gotta get it running first. You know, running where it stays running for more like 2 seconds. Because in 2 seconds, then you're gonna have to rebuild it. It'll need rebuilt then. No, I'm kidding. You can run it for 4 seconds before it gets rebuilt. Oh, it moves, Blake. Say we're going about a lot more RPM than the factory engine went, and I only went a high of 2,000 horsepower. Wow, 2,000 RPM. So, oh boy, it does move. I might have to download the speedometer on my phone and test it out. That thing moves. It clips along. Maybe I could look up here just see how fast they go from factory. Trusty Google. Nope. Definitely not trusty. There's 400s top out at like 13. Oh, nice. I don't know how fast that goes, but I'll have to test it. Look it up here. See how fast they actually go from factory. Okay, computer's loading. That definitely is faster. Chunky wheel horse. Yeah, chunky wheel horse. The wheel horse only goes like 5. But it's made to work. So it's geared a little lower than the John Deere because the wheel horse is made to work. You know? No. Okay. So right here it says the International Harvester Cub 154 lowboy tractor has awesome speed forward of 10 miles per hour, which is 1 mile per hour more than average speed forward of 9 miles per hour. So it's probably got your 400 beat. Man, this is good old Google, so it's definitely not accurate, but we'll test it out with that engine on it. Blake, John Deere's are made to work. Try hauling a 10-inch plow through clay with a worn-out engine with only 30 psi. Ooh, wow, 30 psi. How's that even running? I'd like to know how that was even running with 30 psi. No, that ain't. I don't know how that was running. Definitely running by hopes and dreams. Dang. There you go, perfect example. Kohler needs a rebuild. It's probably got a good many hours on it though. So they do run good when they're factory, but as soon as you have to rebuild them, it's all downhill from there. I mean, they can, don't necessarily mean they will. I tell you, them Kubotas, them things go for a while. You can get true. It's hard to find a good rebuild kit that ain't a Chinese knockoff. Them Kubotas, you can get a good many hours out of them before they need rebuilt. When you do regular maintenance on them and take care of them. Kubota engines are more than alright, Blake. Did you ever have any? I'll tell you this. My brother had done a oil change on our Kubota zero turn. Has a 3-cylinder D722 Kubota in it. And I was out mowing with it. I went out through, turned around, and was coming back, and I saw a black line on the ground. And I got off, and here was motor oil. The oil plug was gone. And yeah, so I did the right thing and drove it down to the shop, which I was up above the house here. So I drove it down, out to the shop, and we made a oil plug for it and put oil on it. Perfectly fine. Didn't even hurt it. And we ran that thing. I ran that thing completely out of oil. Automatic oil change. All you have to do is not tighten the oil plug and let all the oil drain out, and you just put the plug back in and put new oil in. You're good to go. But yeah, diesel engine ran without oil. That's not ideal. They're more than okay, Blake. They're good little engines. And people are putting turbos on them things and putting decent amount of boost into them factory. And they take it like a champ. The Cat small engines. Cat engines, they're iffy. Definitely not the best engines, but they're not bad. But that was another option for the lowboy, because I really wanted to put a Cummins 4BT in it, which is a 4-cylinder Cummins. I wanted to put one of them in it, but them like them blocks are way too tall. I'd have to modify a lot of things to put a Cummins in it. Other option was a 4-cylinder Kubota diesel, but same way, I'd have to really modify some things to make that fit. Or I did see a 3 or 4-cylinder Cat that had been awesome put in it, but nah, I'd rather keep it somewhat factory with just putting a different engine in it. Like I'm still running the factory hood, factory radiator, factory hoses, factory throttle cable, factory choke cable, which I'm using the choke cable as a shut off to shut it off. But factory ignition, factory flywheel that we just machined and bolted that onto the other flywheel on the Kubota. And I made the engine mounts. And good to go. Still using factory engine mounts. Just made them to mount the engine to the factory engine mounts. There's a lot of things that I had to make to fit the engine in it. But I'll tell you, it was well worth it. We're still trying to even out the issues with it. Alright, I'm unmuted now. So Blake, what were you trying to tell me? Because I'm still waiting. Oh, okay. There you are. For every weekend in the summer, he uses his 80s, 90 fares. He moves about 7 properties, all about 5 acres, not including our churches, 10 acres. She's a beast, still runs right to the top. Ferris lawnmowers are actually pretty good lawnmowers. Don't get me wrong, they are good lawnmowers. We'd get one. Tours aren't bad either. I know what you meant. A big fan of them. Hey, I read that first, Blake. Nice try. X-Mark are pretty good ones too. Swifty. Blake, you can go ahead and remove that if you want. Don't need that in chat. You got a chance to be a moderator here. Swifty wasn't being very swifty. Oh, you're good, Swifty. Blake, my dad bought an X-Mark brand new in 2015, uses it every week in the summer on 5 acres. How is that? Blake, is that a zero turn, or I guess it would be. We had the Kubota quite a few years now, and we use that to mow 50 acres here. I mean, we're just mowing the yard, but yeah, zero turn. But when we got that, it had weak drives, so my dad rebuilt them, and it's been going ever since. But that is with any zero turn. They're hydraulic motors. They heat up, and it just goes downhill. But we had a Simplicity. That was the same way. Them drives needed to rebuild, but we didn't really need it because we had the Kubota, so we sold that. Oh, nice bike. It didn't last too long. I'm sure. I'm not a fan of using regular ride-on mowers for doing yard because they take so long. I like to get on the zero turn and get done with it. Don't get me wrong, I love using the low boy. I'm curious to see how that thing is gonna mow this year with the diesel engine. Mowed pretty good with the gas engine, but now we got more torque, so pretty good chance of breaking something in the deck. Yeah. Yo, K181. Am I right or am I right? You aren't alright. Huh? Yeah. Hell, it worked, Blake. Open. No, I don't want to download it, just open it. Like, there's a reason why I'm not running the Power King very often. Using that, I'm only running that for at shows. But over winter time, it gets parked. I bet. Go. With or without choke, Blake? That's a good question. With or without choke? Well, he didn't specify what temp it was gonna be, Blake. Hey, Director. Hey, Blue Boat. It probably wouldn't be a terrible idea to go out and start the Power King for a little bit, but if I do that, then I have to drain all the gas out of it, which the carburetor will probably gum up anyhow, so. And once you take Kohler carburetors apart, good luck getting them to not leak. I have terrible luck with Kohler carburetors. Blake the Collector, fine. I'll wake up a 6:30 just for you, go out and start it and go back inside. Yeah. Good luck starting it, Blake. Not sure how long we're gonna go live. 35%. We use about 10. Yeah, I'm sure they're not great. But like, I rebuilt, it was good rebuild, it was good gasket, and leaked like a sieve. Ran, but leaked like a sieve. I will say I took that carburetor apart, well, I took the bowl off. I managed to put it back together and it don't leak. But any carburetor I touch, it ends up leaking. I mean, literally, any carburetor I touch, it leaks. I can't win. That's very possible, Blake. They probably don't like me. And the engine that the little boy had in it, that carburetor was, it's in rough shape. There's something loose on the bowl, or on the float. I'm not sure what could have broke off in the float, but the carburetor overflows, like, by a lot. So the carburetor needed rebuilt, or another carburetor. The engine smoked. When I pulled the engine, oil was on the add mark. Nah, I'm good. I'll get a Cub Cadet. I like Cub Cadets. Apparently Mike don't like them either. I don't know why. They're international. Nothing wrong with international. You don't like international, I guess. I don't know. speed dials, Mike. No, don't do that, Blake. Brandon B. Floats will get pinholes in my calls that. It was something metal in there. It wasn't gas. But yeah, it didn't have any pinholes in. I'm not. It was something metal inside the float that was loose. I'm not sure what. Yeah, Blake. The carb on my 214 had a hole in it and caused it not to run. Yeah, you gotta watch them pinholes, because they can be a pain in the neck. Did you know who that Swifty person was? No, I never saw him before. He wasn't very Swifty, that's for sure. Dang trolls. Can never get good help around here. Yeah. I didn't see that one, Blake. You trying to troll me now, too? Oh, I did see that one. Never mind. I didn't realize that was the one that I saw. I feel like that's how it is with the little boy. Like, I did everything on live streams, and now there ain't nothing to do. Well, there is something to do, but I can't do it until I get the courts to do so. It's one of them deals. Where you get everything done, and then there ain't nothing else to do. I'll tell you what, the wheel horse, me neither, Blake. I'll tell you what, the wheel horse, that thing moves some snow a lot easier than I thought it was. This last snow, actually not this last one, but the one before, that snow was very, very wet. And it plowed it like it was nothing. I don't know how it did, but it did. Like, I lost my compass, so I used a wire nut to wire the new fuel pump in. Oh dear, Blake. I'm not friends with any of my tractor's batteries. They all hate me. Oh, it's the same way here. Batteries, we have like the worst luck with batteries. Especially lawnmower batteries. They go dead once, it's game over. And it's the same deal with the lowboy battery, because that's got a battery that worked great with the gas engine. Now with the diesel engine, it's the diesel engine. That battery ain't nothing, nowhere near what that thing needs to crank it over. That's why I need the battery charger on start mode every time I go to start it, so it actually cranks. Alright. I'll hold you to it, Blake. Hey Blake, you're back. I was holding you to it. Don't forget to hit the like thingy, everyone. Hit the like thingy and hit like, or yeah. Well, hit like, share, and copy link. Really helps out the channel. Well, the stream anyhow. And subscribe if you're not already subscribed. No, you don't need to unsubscribe. Just, if you're not subscribed, subscribe. Computer's blowing up right now. That's fine. Ignore it. Just ignore it. You're in. Tell me more about that John Deere 300 your grandparents have. I pretty much told you everything about it. He needs rebuilt. Like my pal had that thing rebuilt. He said he only ran a couple tanks of gas through it, mowing with it. It shut off, didn't start. So they parked it and got another one. Well, I dug into it, pulled the head off, and found that the piston wobbles around in the cylinder. So the rings are shot like that, and he sent it out to get rebuilt. So I think they just use extra cheap rings for it. So I'm hoping the cylinder ain't shot. I'm hoping that it just wore the rings out, that the cylinder is still within spec, or they bored it over and used standard size piston. I don't know. We'd have to measure the piston or the cylinder and figure it out. Yeah, that's if they used standard size, or if they used an oversized piston. They could have bored the cylinder and used a standard piston, and not actually used the oversized piston. So I don't know. We'd have to measure it. We have the tools to do bores, measure bores. Yeah, it was professionally rebuilt. I don't know who he sent it to. I'm not going to give out names, but or if they're even in business anymore. This was quite a few years ago. But I don't know what kind of rebuild kit they used or what, but it's shot. And when I told him, I said that it needs rebuilt. Piston wobbles around in the cylinder, don't have enough compression to start. Like I can get it to run, like it'll start and just run for a little bit, but it's really difficult to get it running. Like it won't take throttle. I went over the carburetor several times, but your piston should not wobble around in the cylinder. And either way, the engine had to come apart because he said the governor wasn't right. But now, I don't know if if there was even anything wrong with the governor. Could have just been surging because of low compression or something, or whatever it was doing. I don't know exactly what it was doing. It's kind of cold down here. Move some things here, so get heat coming through here. Whew, heat. Wow. Cable does move somewhat easy. That's a plus. Yeah, definitely not definitely not a good rebuild kit. How do you think that 400 sounded when it started for a little bit? You've rebuilt more engine than I have. It sounded pretty good. It sounded strong. Did you do a compression test on it? How much compression does it have? It should have over 150 pounds of compression. A rebuilt engine should have around 180 pounds of compression on a good day. Yeah, do that and I'll give you an idea of how the internals are. It does help to test it, don't forget. That's what we should have did when we got the 722 engine, compared to 722 engine that I got. That thing had a lot of hours on it apparently because cylinders were all beyond shot. Like, I tested one of the biggest fuel gauges that we had. That was like 40 thousandths, and it still had room around the rings. If that's not shot, then I don't know what is. It would probably help, but you gotta have fuel supply for it to run. And it sounded to me in that video like it started and lost fuel or something. But I don't know. It's hard to tell. Does it run on choke? Like when you pull the choke, does it run or does it? What does it do when you pull the choke and try to start it? Like, will it stay running with the choke? Yeah, bleeding air out of lines can get difficult. I have to do that a lot on the power cane. Fully choked. Okay. Did you try starting it with choke and then when it starts, take the choke off? Will it stay running? Will it stay running then? So a lot of times it'll need choke to get it running, but when you leave the choke on it, it'll flood it out. Like, flood it out if you don't take the choke off right away. Or it'll just like miss, but it'll probably just shut off. Oh, you have to reach under the air cleaner. Why don't you just take the air cleaner off? The only downfall of taking the air cleaner off is that causes it to run strange too. Like with snowmobile yesterday, had the air cleaner off of it, and it was popping through the carburetor. Put the air cleaner back on, started up and ran perfect. Huh. Yeah, it's hard to tell. I'd have to hear it more often. I have to hear it more and what it's doing. Yeah. That too, and also with the jetting that the carburetor has, it needs the air cleaner to kind of help with the vacuum that needs to suck the gas out of the carburetor. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where TLC is. Probably hanging out with his girlfriend. Okay. Oh, dang, we've been going for an hour. That's a good one, Blake. What else you got to talk about? I butchered that. Oh. Well, probably soon have to shut her down. I think I made the 400 tired. But 2 hours of one. I put 2 hours on that already trying to start it. Oh dang. That poor starter. Burn that starter up, and I ain't joking. And you also put tires on it too, so you really did make it tired. Or didn't you put tires on it yet? Yeah, it still says you. What is that? Oh my god. There it is. Okay. That's a good one. Well, you weren't very tired. The 400 was very tired. Alright, well, we're gonna have to go ahead and shut the stream down here, so I guess we'll see you all in the next one. Like, I hope I don't have to replace it because I gotta pull the engine to do so. Yeah, they're hard to put starters on. I know. I'm getting ready to shut it down. Alright, see ya, Blake. See you on the next one. Peace out.